Well, hello, friends. Welcome to another episode of Crypto Backstage. Today, I'm excited to welcome Yuri Rabinovich. Yuri, you are the founder of VNTR Capital, which is a global investment community and syndicate, focusing on the investment in Web3 and fast-growing scale-ups. You're also famous for organizing memorable investor breakfast all around the world. Welcome to Crypto Backstage, Yuri.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's a real pleasure, Yuri. So in a minute, we'll take a moment to really unpack what an investment syndicate is, who can join, how it works, how you find and distribute deals. I would love to hear also your impression about the various profile of investors that you work with, between angel investors, family offices, high net worth individuals. Our listeners are really keen to hear how that works. And we'll get back to your experience spearheading and scaling a global investor community that may help with your acquisition channel. Before we dive in, can you let us know about yourself, what you were doing before VNTR Capital?
Sure. I'm a geek that became a community builder. So I moved to Silicon Valley in 2010, where I kind of started my entrepreneurial journey and started hosting events to build my network. From 20 people events, we grew to 1,500 people gathering for a conference, or 1,200 people partying in San Francisco nightclubs. So I gained a lot of experience building my network through events.
Okay.
Over the past 13 years, I've hosted probably 500 events or more.
Wow.
I don't know, didn't count what is the exact number, but within my companies, we use events as a key tool to build community network, acquire customers, gain leads for investments or fundraising. So it's been a lot of things related to events. In every company we did host events or conferences. VNTR is, I think, community number 10 that I'm building. And previous communities, we grew to more than 100,000 people each. In the past, I didn't do that by myself. I had co-founders, partners, regional partners that helped to grow the communities and host events. So right now we are utilizing the same methodology, lessons learned, to grow probably one of the largest investors community in the world. This is what we are aiming for.
Okay.
It's kind of this what we are working on right now.
Super interesting. So I have one first question. Were you always a very extroverted person that loves to network and see a very social person, or was it more actually a way to push yourself and get to know people?
Yeah, I'm a very shy person even now. Which people, including my wife, would say that I'm lying. But
it does not look like that way with all the events that you attend.
So if it's not my event, then I'm shy, and you're probably gonna see me on the side of the venue, and not
engaging so much.
I'm more observing what's going on if it's not my event. In my event, I'm doing my best to be different person.
Yeah, a great host. We see a lot of this with introverted people, actually. I'm also an introverted person, and actually that's typically people are very surprised about it, but we prepare probably better, and then we give our best. So very interesting. So all these communities that you scaled up, they were in completely different industries, or always in tech or in Web3 as well?
So the different ones. In 2011, we started Startup Socials and Startup Monthly. It was focused on entrepreneurs community. So those that want to be entrepreneurs. And we gathered a huge community. We hosted very large events, up to more than 1,000 people networking in San Francisco, in Moscow, in Israel, in New York, in London. So we hosted up to 500 people events in all these cities. San Francisco was the biggest hub. Then we launched another community of growth hackers and marketeers and launched a growth marketing conference, which we grew to 1,500 people coming together for 3 days in San Francisco. We did that with my partner Vasil, who was the CEO, and so it was very different focus community. In 2014, I launched mobile concierge service and luxury network, where I aggregated 3,000 business owners of luxury service providers, concierge companies. And in 2016, we hosted our first conference in that community in Monaco, and another one in Dubai in 2017. So it was very different community of luxury service providers, lots of brokers of products, services. In 2018, I launched the first crypto community. It was called Synergy Chain. It was crypto investors community. It was
how did you meet that group? How did you first get interested into that group of people and crypto in general?
So in 2017, we missed on the opportunity to introduce crypto in Veritamo, which was the luxury marketplace. And that venture failed. Then I started building the first. It was second investors community that I built. First one was with Startup Monthly and Startup Socials, where we did have programming for investors. So a lot of people that know me now, they knew me for more than 10 years, but they continued in their investment route. I kind of diverged to be entrepreneurs, building startups. Then I came back to build the second investors community with a focus on crypto. That community didn't last too long because the crypto crashed in 2018. And I moved on to launch another travel service, travel focused startup, which failed because of COVID. And then I didn't know what to do for a while. In 2021, I kind of didn't know what to do with myself. I started a fellowship program for investors. Or wannabe investors that want to start investing in VC. And I run masterclass, actually 3 masterclasses for serial entrepreneurs, high net worth individuals to emerge and to be a VC, to learn what is angel investing, VC investing. And then we had a 10 weeks fellowship program with smaller group, and then a retreat in Dubai with supercars. So this was like my way back to VC. And then January we rebranded. 2 years ago in January we rebranded to VNTR and launched the community, the new community. And for the past 2 years we hosted more than 100 offline events, and more than 8,000 investors attended these events. And
and for the little story, I kind of sneaked into one of these events. I think it was in Berlin.
Yes.
I was invited by a friend, and I almost didn't get through the door because you're very particular in the quality and the registration of who comes to your breakfast, which is then how I imagine you ensure a very kind of lively and significant discussion during these breakfasts. But you're also, I believe, you pay attention to diversity and having different profiles in terms of experience, background, etc., which we'll get back to. All right, so if I recap, you started different communities in different sectors, you professionalized it, then you became also a serial entrepreneur with various companies. Some succeeded, some failed, and then you got introduced through crypto with your experience and your network, and you said, okay, let's grow a community. Maybe can you tell us why you focus on investors specifically and not just like the broader crypto enthusiast community?
Yeah. So the reason I focus on investors is because I've done it multiple times, right? So this is our third iteration, and in the first one, it was entrepreneurs, investors, mentors. We were running startup accelerators, helping people to get started, and many of these guys are successful now, like Panda Dog, for example.
Okay.
They started their journey with us, in
Okay.
Silicon Valley,
Very cool.
and many others that attended our events, got connected, etc. So it takes 10 years for someone to be super successful if they are. And I kind of decided to skip that phase now, not to deal with super early stage and not to deal with entrepreneurs, but rather those that got funded and they got investors. And most of the best deals come from other investors. So in a way, if you want to invest in the best companies, you don't need to look for startups. All you need to build is your network of co-investors that will invite you to co-invest with them in the next great deal.
Okay.
And this is kind of why we focus only on investors. By saying in focusing only on investors, it's also lying, because most of the investors, they are serial entrepreneurs, and many of them build their new venture, right? And so within our community, we have half of the community is private investors, business angels, and many of them, they are building their next thing. Right, but what unites the community is the fact of being actively investing in startups. And, our approach, I think it's smarter approach, is to just focus on investors and allow them to share deal flow with others. And by allowing them to share deal flow with others, we get to see what is it, and we can co-invest. So this kind of the approach. Yeah.
Very interesting. And so, indeed, you would say that what VNTR Capital is about is to enable this better share of information and deal opportunities between a trusted community. Is that how?
Yes.
And maybe you can tell us a bit more what a syndicated investment company is and how it works.
Yeah. So kind of the idea is that by allowing people to share deals in a safe way, it's kind of, we launched our own platform back in July last year. Before that, we had just Google spreadsheets where people would fill out the same form, answering a lot of questions. So we, first of all, we eliminated the repetition for recurring customers, because we have some investors attending more than 10 events with us. They had to fill out the same information. Using external systems also kind of didn't help, because then, you don't have that data.
You want to own the data.
Yeah. So we launched our own platform where investors create their profiles. They can apply to events. It's easier for us to do the vetting process, because we see all the information that they were ready to contribute. We ask where do they invest, how much they invest, how many deals they are planning to do. It's quite extensive form. Some people hate it. Some people are not ready to share. But
why not? Would you say they wouldn't want to share? Some people don't want to share this
they don't know us, right? They don't know who we are. They don't know what we are trying to achieve, and as a result of that, they are not ready to share that information. And now we are kind of improving it because a lot of people know us already, right? It's kind of we send a newsletter every Sunday to 75,000 people. A lot of them are investors, and trying to provide value. We are curating news around venture capital, conferences and events that might be relevant for them, and hosting a lot of events. It gives over time, it gives trust to people that they want to be part of our community. Our goal is to connect you to other investors so that you build relationships that we don't gain out of it much, right? There were thousands of connections made without even the person telling me thank you.
Yeah.
And I do hear people, hey, I met at the VNTR event, we co-invested. Hey, I raised funding for my next startup. Hey, I got a client. It's there are lots of success stories, but that I cannot hear about it because people like to come and say the bad things that happened to them because of you rather than the good things. And right now we are working on the easy way to capture these success
You want to
stories.
capture that more. Yeah, all the business that resulted from your company connecting high quality people together with similar interests.
And sometimes people don't want to share too much because we need to share some success fee, or we need to, so people don't come and rush to you that, hey, thank you so much for helping us. So we kind of creating this safe place also to share success stories now. This is one of our priorities, is to give the place to share that someone invested, someone got the right connections. And a year ago, we introduced a premium membership in the community. It took us a while to kind of test drive and implement it. Now we are at the stage of accepting many more customers or many more members to the community, kind of to the paid service. So we have the free membership, which is attending limited amount of our events globally, and then you can upgrade to pro membership, where we provide you a lot of support and more
additional
access.
benefits.
Yeah. So this is kind of also, we are at the stage that we are packaging that unique selling package, right? Sort of with the right values, so that people will see that they don't want to be outside of that membership, outside of the inner circle of the community. So our goal is to grow the premium membership rapidly now, so that more people can benefit from it. Since July, we onboarded 1,400 qualified investors on the platform and within the community. And the goal now is to provide more volume.
Okay, and maybe for those who listen and they don't know, so there is kind of two options. If you're an investor, you can either attend these events if you're going to the same conference or you're at the same place, and maybe subscribe to your premium offering, but you can also join the syndicate, and that's a different process, right? Can you be, yeah.
So Syndicate is something new that we are restarting. Like 2 years ago, we did few deals, and then the market wasn't great, neither in equity market, neither in crypto market. So I was focusing more on building the community, building the network of investors that invested in the past. Because for the past 2 years, mostly no
in
one
Web3 particularly, or
in both, because the VC market didn't have liquidity. A lot of investors didn't invest much. Angel investors didn't invest much. There were people that were active because it's good timing to invest in low valuation in companies that survive. But there was not a lot of investment activity.
Okay.
Either the top investors stopped investing or decreased the amount of investments. I think that right now is the right timing to start investing again.
You
Both
mean with the bull run coming in Web3 or more generally?
in general, both
Okay.
traditional startups and Web3 startups. Now is the right timing to restart investing. Some people may say it's too late. It's kind of because you should have invested in the past 2 years. But now it's good time to start investing, and we are focusing with the syndicate more on growth stage companies.
Okay.
Because you can invest in mature startups with lower valuations. I think that secondaries is at the bottom right now in terms of pricing that allows you to purchase shares of well-established startups. It's quite low, so it's good opportunity to do secondary shares buyouts. Also, most of the startups are struggling to raise and survive, and the valuations are so much lower. Even we invested in some unicorn in the past, and it's much lower valuation right now. So it's good momentum, but you cannot invest in these deals with small checks, and this is why syndicated investment allows us to pool multiple small investors and generating larger checks that allow us to participate in primary rounds or secondary rounds or token sales.
Okay.
So
Let's pause here, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe Yuri. So in terms of the ticket size, what is the minimum and what's the maximum? And also, what threshold do you see to participate in these deals typically? Is it 100K, 200K, more?
Yeah. So the way that we design our syndicated deals, we can allow you to participate from 10K checks, but it depends which deals. So some deals, the minimum check size might be even $200,000 to participate.
Okay.
We have two types of deals. One is shares of startups or participation into VC funds as an LP.
Okay.
So we are focusing on the top VC funds where we can invest as LP, which is a very long-term investment. It's like 10 years to lock your money into the fund and
Okay.
allow the fund managers to deploy that capital in startups. The promise there is 3x plus return over 10 years.
Okay.
Which is for many people it might be too long, right? Kind of, but if you want to invest in top VC, tier one VC,
that's what you need to
the
do.
check size is very high as well. Like some VCs, they require 5 million minimum check size. Some of them are 2 million check size. So meaning
which
that
ones, for example?
Like if you want to participate in Andreessen Horowitz fund, it might be even 10 million check size to join. So all the top tier funds, the large funds, they don't want to deal with small checks and to have too many LPs. As a result of that, the check size is quite high. What the syndicate allows you to do is to join a group of other investors, create an SPV, special purpose vehicle, where you are becoming shareholder of that unit, and then that unit is joining the fund as LP, or it is investing into direct deal or secondary deal. As a result of that, you get access to deals that you cannot access as a private investor.
So this you're now restarting as the market offers more opportunities.
Yeah.
And so how do you select who can join this? I guess it's not just about how much you can invest in, but also kind of your knowledge level of experience as an investor. How does that work?
So in the syndicated deals, there is not a lot of know-how we can bring to these companies because they are well established. They probably don't need us as an investor, but because they already, let's say, past Series B, or like Casper, for example, raising Series B round. This is clear. Need capital. The company needs capital to grow the business, and we can bring capital, but not necessarily the knowledge.
The strategic, the strategic angle.
Startups in early stages, they need a lot of hand-holding advice. At later stage scale-ups, they don't need too much apart from, they want to partner with top VCs that will allow them to, to go IPO or do major M&A. We don't bring that to them. We bring capital, probably at the moment, small checks. And oftentimes we need to compete with other VCs to get in. Right now it's a good timing because it's still hard to raise money from even top VCs. So it's good timing that we can join top companies with fairly small checks. When I say small checks, is from 500K and up checks.
Okay.
Not multi-million checks, but some, most of the companies we can participate now with 1-2 million checks, given the current market situation. But it will change soon because the market is getting better. We see more companies planning to IPO soon. Bitcoin is skyrocketing, so people have more liquidity. They will start investing, and we give them a way to diversify and invest in good opportunities with small checks. Yeah.
And how do you then make money? So you probably have a management fee that you apply. Do you apply it to becoming part of the syndicate, or is it based on deals that are made?
Good question. Typically, syndicates don't charge management fee. They charge admin fee that covers the cost of sustaining the SPV that will be investing on behalf of the syndicate. And then there is a carry from profits that being generated. Syndicates that invest in earlier stage, they do charge some management fee. Typically, it's 2 to 4 years management fee as well. In our case, we charge 2 to 5% admin fee to cover the cost of the admin, and then up to 10 to 20% carry, depends on the deal. For if it's fund-of-fund investments, typically it's 2% admin fee and 5% carry on top or within, depends.
You have to break this down for us. How does that work?
On top, it means that if we invest into a fund, the fund will charge 2% annual management fee over 10 years. It depends how they structure, and they charge 20% carry. So top VCs will not be ready to share carry with us. So for the service of joining as a syndicate into top VC, we need to charge something. So we believe that kind of 5% on top on the carry, it is a fair model to give you access. So that's kind of the model that we are developing on the fund-of-fund investments. And on the crypto deals, it is harder to structure it. So we see that there should be a fee to join, some up to 5% fee to join the deal, and then it is either part of the distribution of token, probably up to 5% of distributions of the token, because you have vesting period, cliff plus vesting, and people do want to get the tokens. You don't keep it within the syndicate until potential exit. So because it's liquid, we need to distribute that. So it's a little bit harder to structure in the same way like the typical equity deal. In
Okay, very
equity,
interesting. Yeah.
you sit and wait until there is exit.
Yes,
In
exactly.
in crypto deals, the tokens are much more liquid because of the vesting period.
Yeah, I think that's a key particularity in Web3. So either when you have a startup raising, they typically you can invest in the equity part, but you could also invest in the token that they may launch at a later stage, which is a much more liquid investment because you typically have access to part of your investment at the time the token launches. Right, very
Yeah.
interesting. So do you consider your events as a way to find new investors for your syndicate, or do you see it more and more as two different businesses? One is your global community that will have like premium options, and the second one, syndicate, that is a little bit a different type of beast.
Yeah. Yeah, so it is separate businesses that coexist
Within
on
VNTR.
yeah, it's kind of the way that we see building VNTR is to create like YPO community for investors, or you might be familiar with YPO or
No,
EO, or so like different organizations that are based on uh, membership, right?
yeah.
So and the goal is to grow a global network of investors, VCs, angels, family offices, corporate VCs, institutional investors, all of them together, collaborating, sharing deal flow, supporting each other, etc., etc. And certain percentage of them paying premium membership, certain percentage of them are on the reacting side, because the paying members need introductions, need support. So you do need large network. So that's why we kind of chose to do freemium model on that side.
Yes.
We also introduced corporate membership, and companies that want to have access to the investors or to the deal flow, or they sell services to investors or premium clients, they can join the community on the corporate membership. We also identified that there is a big pain point for GPs, general partners, and VC funds to connect with potential limited partners that will give them money to their funds. So we launched another premium service for GPs where we have a separate programming to connect them to limited partners in the community. So in a way, it's like already four types of actors within the community. One on the free membership, one of the premium private membership, one is the corporate membership, or where corporates and corporate VCs fall into, and then GPs and limited partners. So we have different types of services, and in terms of introduction service, in terms of events that they can attend. We launched new events for limited partners only. We have events for family offices. Yeah,
I saw that in Dubai. You have Dubai Token 2049, I think in April.
LP round
You
table.
have LP and investor. Very
Yes.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
And then the syndicate. So syndicate, every person within that community can potentially also co-invest with us or invest through us. So when you co-invest, if your check size is large enough, you can potentially co-invest with us directly into deals that we can invest in, because given the market situation, there is still allocation to co-invest as well in some deals.
okay.
And if your check size is small, you cannot participate in these deals. So meaning that the only way for you to invest is through our syndicate.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, very
But
clear.
but then there is another group of people that are ready to invest maybe 20K a year, which we don't accept to the inner circle of VNTR Light Pro Corporate. that we can engage and invite them only to certain deals to put 10K, 20K, maybe maximum 50K a year. But if it's hundreds of them, it be sizable amounts already. And we have that sub community as well, which we invite only to deals, but not to our events.
Okay, very interesting.
And there is another sub community. So that there is a group of associates in VC funds that we also don't accept to our events, right? So if you are an associate in a VC fund,
what does that mean? It means you're a bit more junior in the org chart, okay?
yes,
But you work full time in a VC.
Yeah, your analyst, your associate, your principal, your senior analyst, your IR, your BD, your marketing person in the VC fund. Many of them apply to our events. We don't accept them to attend the events because they're not the investment decision maker, but they are necessary to make deals happen, right? So we have that sub community that we don't engage yet, which we could potentially cater with another service that could be relevant, or invite them to co-invest with us in some deals, because they are the first one to do the review of these deals.
Yeah.
You know?
That brings me actually to a question I had. I feel like there is a big knowledge gap problem. I heard and I learned today that you yourself trained, you participate in masterclass to know how does, investment works, etc. And I feel like there's probably indeed a much larger community that maybe has some capital, but doesn't know how it works, doesn't know how to even assess a deal, do due diligence, etc. Wouldn't that be a great growth opportunity for your company to do this training?
On the syndicate side, yes, because first of all, access to deals. Second is knowledge or assessing these deals. We are currently developing a team that will be kind of aggregating sourcing allocations within the community, and then offering it to syndicate members to co-invest or invest to us. And there are companies like Our Crowd, like AngelList, and various kind of platforms and syndicates that doing well. Republic, right? It's kind of that allow small check investors to participate in deals that they syndicate. So we do see ourselves growing to that side as well. Kind of it's just we are early stage startup ourselves.
Yes.
Right?
So you need to focus a bit on
not do everything at once while we still kind of trying to do a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, and talking about deal pipeline, so how do you actually make sure you capture, or is a member of your community kind of compelled to at least provide a few deals per year, or how do you make sure you capture this? Because as you said, right, you can think also about Airbnb. The risk would be that they put two people in contact and then these people just book the hotels or the accommodation outside of the platform, and then you're kind of offering a service for free. But Airbnb over time made it so compelling and added protection for both sides, etc., that you want to do it. Yeah. So how do you think about that?
So right now we are in the stage that we offer only our premium members ability to bring deals for co-investment. And share it with others in the community. Our second phase is to allow them to syndicate through us, right? So let's say you invested as an angel investor in some company that is growing super fast, but you don't have enough money to keep investing. So if you know that we have thousands of investors, you will come to us because we will share the economics with you, bring capital, and more value than you can bring just by yourself. So by providing more value, more services, more support, people will come to us. We are not there yet 100%. Right now we are in the process of inviting some of our community members to come and bring their top deals to co-syndicate. so that
Okay.
because I don't have all the resources on my side to properly run a VC fund or VC firm. So we utilize the community and their due diligence while we bring the network to CoinVest. So that's kind of the approach now. But over time, we can develop in-house investment team that can, reach out to all the community members, say, hey, what is your top performing company? Which company is raising? And then it can be thousands of deals a year that we need to review. We are not there right now.
Very interesting. So I imagine that hosting this breakfast everywhere in the world has a cost. So how do you finance this? Is it free? If you qualify, is it free to attend? How do you finance your whole venture?
Yeah, so it's a tricky one, right? Because we have a saying that events will happen anyway. We sponsor, without sponsor, with funding, without funding, events are happening anyway. So some events we do host, and attendees just cover their breakfast or dinner or lunch, pay themselves to the venue. We don't charge tickets or to attend because it's tricky to charge investors to attend because they are used to attend conferences for free. Some of them expect to be paid to go to an event. So in our case, there are events that are our marketing events, right? So we need more people to be there in order to attract more people to the community, to the platform. We do allow companies to sponsor and get exposure to these events. Companies get a package including exposure to our newsletter, through the event, presenting the event. And it's tricky, if we are hosting more than 100 events a year, a lot of them are not sponsored, and as a result of that, it's either we cover the cost and then, in the hope that there will be a substantial amount of people that will convert to pro membership, and we will, sustain the growth and all the events. We do partner with companies that sponsor one event or a series of events. The corporate membership that we introduced will help us to sustain the events, and yeah.
And so you've bootstrapped this whole thing, or did you raise funds for your company?
So I was bootstrapping it until December for 2 years. I bootstrapped it from Yuri hosting events, then Yuri and assistant, then Yuri and multiple assistants. Starting in December, we raised some pre-seed funding from a prominent investor, and right now we are building a company and building a platform and scaling. Right now we have a 12 people team. We recruited over the past 2 months since January.
Super cool. Congrats.
Six new team members joined. So we were 6 people end of last year, and we have more focused people. For us, it's very important to partner with conferences that we host the side events to, so that investors that travel to these conferences, they know that there is this high quality event where they can meet other investors. The largest conferences, there is programming for investors, like Web Summit, like Giantex, VivaTech, even there is Blockchain Week. They introduced investor focused programming, but many conferences, they don't have anything tailored to investors. So we complement well with our events to provide value to investors that travel, so that they can meet and find each other.
Exactly. I imagine for these events, they can see your breakfast as a externalization of an investor-only mini conference. All right, very cool. So it's been super interesting. Thank you so much for your time, Yuri, sharing with us how you grew these exceptional communities all across the world, and growing your syndication company. Where can people go to follow you yourself and also VNTR Capital?
Yeah, so you can go to vntr.vc and create your account with us on the platform, answer a quick questionnaire, and get accepted. And then our team will start the onboarding process with you. You can see us as a side event for most of the major tech conferences, where you can meet the community and get started building your network with other investors.
Amazing. We'll make sure everybody who's listened gets a green light. I'm
Yeah.
kidding. All right. Thank you so much, Yuri.
Thank you.